Aloha and welcome to Hawaii Sports Update. My name is PJ and I am here with Open Court Basketball Skills Training Club founder Jeremy Robinson once again, Nike basketball camp also, and we're going to be here with a few of the All-Stars who was involved in Jeremy's second annual Jeremy Robinson All-Star Classic held at Mauna Loa High School this past weekend. We have a couple of the stars here from our local high school, and we'll be talking to them and their ventures of where they might be going to college and what the future holds for them after their basketball careers in high school. First of all, let's get to some sports updates. UH men's baseball team is 6-10 after their trip to Minute Maid Park in Houston last week. You know, that's a big opportunity for those guys to play in a major league park. The Rainbow Warriors will be back at home this week against Oklahoma, starting a 4-game series on March the 12th. Look forward to L.J. Brewster taking the mound. He's 3-0 so far with the ERA of under 2.00, and he's making the transition from third base to the pitching mound very well this year. Also, freshman Eric Ramirez leads the Rainbows at a 340 clip offensively. Now, the UH men's, women, and basketball schedules have wrapped up. The women's are the #1 seed heading into the Big West tournament. Of course, Laura Beeman did a good job with the Lady Wahine this year. Now, the men are the #5 seed, and they will play Long Beach State, team that they split with earlier this year. And they'll be looking to advance in the Big West tournament for the first time since UH has gone to the Big West. But, you know, they have the team that can go far in that tournament. They have the good matchups, and I think they're in the right bracket. Now, the end of the season annual awards on the women's side, Coach Laura Beeman, Coach of the Year for the Big West this year. Congratulations to her and the job that she's done this year. Shauna Lekoehu, first team All-Conference Big West. She was projected as a first team All-Conference, and she lived up to those expectations this year. Megan Huff was the best sixth player coming off the bench as a freshman this year, and Ashley Caratiana was second team All-Conference along with Destiny King, who was honorable mention. Now, on the men's side, Roderick Bobbitt led the nation in steals. He has 95 this year. There's only been 4 collegiate players to have over 100 steals in one season, so if he has 5 more, he will surpass the 100 mark. He was the Big West Defensive Player of the Year this year. And then Aaron Valdez and Stefan Yankovic were honorable mention in that class. All of those guys are underclassmen, 2 sophomores and 1 junior, so there's a bright future for the UH men's team. Now, the UH men's volleyball team continues their roll of 8 straight victories, with the last 2 being against #5 ranked Pepperdine. The Rainbow Warriors take a break from the tough MPFS this week and play Hope International. And then the Bulls are now 15-3 overall and 12-2 in that tough conference, and they'll be back at it in a week or so. The UH Wahine softball team sits at 16-9, and they're on a modest 2-game win streak with victories against Utah and East Carolina in the Outrigger Resort Spring Fling Tournament. The Rainbow Wahine play in the Hawaii Pacific Health Classic Rainbow featuring Columbia, Virginia Tech, St. Bonaventure, and Western Illinois starting tomorrow, March 11th. Now, the sand volleyball team upset the #1 ranked Pepperdine Waves, and they're 2-0 in this short season, and they are in Chula Vista on the road playing in the tournament out there. So now let's get to the matter at hand. First of all, Jerry Robinson, mahalo for coming back to the show. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Thanks for coming back. Tell us a little bit about what the second annual Jeremy Robinson All-Star Basketball Classic is, and what it's for, and what you are trying to do for the kids.
Well, when I first got here a while ago, you know, when I played at UH and everything, and after my career, once I started my basketball club, it just popped in my mind. My whole thing was to get young kids exposure out here with playing the game, because I come from a place where, especially AAU ball is very big and very important to each kid. But out here, being that you're way on the island and everything, and with basketball not being so much the #1 sport, with volleyball and football ahead, and maybe even baseball, because they just don't pay too much attention with it. But I said to myself, there are talented players out here, and it's just unfair if they don't get a shot. You know, if they don't play volleyball or football as well as basketball, they won't get a shot at college or you know, something in the future. So I was looking at it and I was like, well, just the players who just play basketball only, they go through some hardships out here because they just don't pay a lot of attention to it.
Right.
So I took it upon myself to just try and build something. So that's when I came up with the All-Star game, because I looked and I said, again, there's one for every sport, but none for basketball for the high school.
All right.
You know, so I had to set it up and did wonderful. You know, it's a fun thing for them.
Definitely putting it down. And now, to my left here is Jasmine Moody. Okay, she is going to attend Brigham Young University, not Brigham Young, Hawaii, but the real Brigham Young, and she attended Radford High School. Now, Jasmine, when you got the chance to play in this All-Star game, you know, what did it mean to you, and you know, a chance to play with other girls who you might have competed against during the year?
It was a lot of fun. I think it was extremely great for Coach Jeremy to put this together for us, because I was able to come together with like all the All-Stars and play with them in one big game, which was really fun because they're all good, you know. So it was competitive and we didn't know who was going to win. And it's always fun playing against other girls that are good, you know, to help yourself get better and then to help them get better as well.
Absolutely. Now, how much do you appreciate Jeremy, you know, taking the time to do stuff like this? I mean, he's all over the island and doing basketball stuff, and he took out this time to make sure that the high schoolers, you know, have their own format and you know, get a chance to expose you guys a little bit more. How do you feel about that?
I really, really appreciate him doing something like this for us, because this is huge. You know, a lot of people came to attend and watch and really see who is good, and you know, like Coach Jeremy said, a lot of people don't realize, I mean, like, basketball is just not really the biggest sport here. So doing this for this really helped, you know, show people and showcase their game a lot more.
All right. Now, how long have you been involved in basketball? And tell us a little bit about your high school career.
Well, I've been playing basketball since I was 5. My dad was the first one who kind of showed me the sport. So, and then after he like showed me, I kind of fell in love with the game because it was like our connection. And then in high school, I started playing at the varsity level at the end of my freshman year. And it was really tough being a freshman playing on the varsity level because those girls were better and faster than me. And so I knew I had to really step up my game. But by my sophomore year, I was starting varsity.
Okay, now did you feel that it improved your game to come up at such a young age and compete with some of the older girls? Did it, you know, do you think that helped you out eventually?
I think it did help me out in the end, because, you know, if you just play against competition that's not, you know, as good, then you don't really improve. But playing against harder girls made me want to do better so that I could, you know, be better.
Okay, so now you're going to graduate from Hawaii and to step into the big leagues, into BYU, and the process sort of has to start all over again. Now, do you think you have it to get that freshman mentality back at the college level now?
It is going to be different, and I do realize that, you know, I have to start all over again. But I'm willing to do it, and I'm excited to do it, because I know, like, they're just trying to make me better in the end. Everyone just wants to win. So they're going to push me and they're going to test me to see if I am really worth being on their team. Absolutely.
Well, it sounds like you've been schooled very well. That's the right attitude. And Jeremy, back to you. You know, when you see young talent, you know, like Jasmine and Kelsey and Kenneth, who we'll be talking to later, you know, what does that do for you? Is that what motivates you to put on showcases like this for these kids?
Oh yeah, I love talent. That's one thing I think as a coach and as a player, everyone can agree on. You want to do what you can to help out talented players and, you know, keep them on the right path, so on and so forth. So yeah, I mean, my bottom line is besides developing talent, you know, if you come in and you're talented, that's fine too. I try to do the most for them.
Okay, and I'm sure throughout Jasmine's high school career, you've seen her play.
Of course.
Tell the people about her game, man.
Well, when I first heard about her, actually a younger sister and younger brother played for me. But I first heard about her was from one of my assistant coaches, Coach Darius. And he told me about her. He was like, well, his sister can play. And I was just starting the girls' team, but unfortunately, it wasn't her age group. So I did go look up and see her numbers, and I think she was a sophomore then. You were a sophomore then.
Yeah.
And I saw her play, and you know, I like what I saw. She can play. A lot of potential.
Absolutely.
Still have to work hard. You know, that's not the end of the road. Everybody has to work harder. But yeah, very talented. So you know.
Okay, and now Jasmine, as for you, and part of this transition, you know, no more play lunches. You know, how are you going to make that adaptment from Hawaii to the mainland? You know, and especially the weather too. I mean, you know, you're going to have to adapt some stuff. You know, you can't be coming home for Christmas on the first Christmas and stuff like that.
I know that it's going to be a hard change. I think probably the biggest thing is going to be the weather, because I've lived here for like almost 4 years now. And so I'm used to that like warm weather, and like 70 degrees now is cold, but now going into weather that's going to be freezing is going to be the hardest change. And I'm going to miss the food a lot too. I mean, and my family too as well. So it's going to be like every freshman has that kind of breakdown at first, but I know that the coaches and the girls there will help me to make it as easy as a transition for me as possible.
Absolutely. So, okay, when you look back, let's go to the future 4 years from now, and you look back, you know, not only the chance to play Division I college basketball and meet new friends and stuff like that, but what are your aspirations going to be by the time you graduate? Where do you want to be? What do you want to be doing?
When I graduate, I want to be the all-conference player. Like, I want to have offers maybe to play overseas or in the WNBA. I want to be that player that Morgan Bailey is right now, where everyone looks up to her. She's well-respected. She can do anything right now, and she's very smart, too. So that's my goals.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's amazing. You know, I was here interviewing some high school girls earlier today, and the goals and the aspirations that these girls have, Jeremy, is just off the charts. And the thing that I know about the Hawaii girls is most of the time that they set their goals, they reach them. You know, I mean, they have the protocol to get there. And, you know, Jasmine, we wish you the best of luck. Of course, when you go to BYU, and we're going to be following you, make sure you get everybody watching Think Tech and BYU and stuff like that, because, you know, when you come back to the islands, we want to get you back on and stuff like that, and don't be a stranger around here.
I won't.
All right, and we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll be here with Jeremy, and we'll be here with a couple other of the All-Stars coming up on Hawaii Sports Update.
Aloha, Yappers, and a Happy New Year. I'm your host, King Zilly. From inner city out to the platform and now the Yap Show. It's a new year, and most would say a new beginning. So this is a call to action. As we promote tech, energy, diversification, and globalism, with Think Tech Hawaii, the Yap Show is all about advocacy for effective leadership, comprehensive youth policies, programs, and access to knowledge and information for upward social mobility, especially for the historically underprivileged youth. This means we'll be looking at young people making a difference in their community. Youth policies here in Hawaii, the country, and the world. We want to highlight youth programs that are meeting young people where they are, working together to accomplish a goal or tackle an issue, while providing information and access to free educational content for anybody looking to learn on their own time, study for an exam, or simply refresh their memory. We do this by inviting everyday people like yourself, state policymakers, youth advocacy groups, youth programs, professionals, and so forth. But most importantly, we'll be partnering up with my new organization, causeeffect.org. More information on Cause Effect, as this website is currently in development and hopes to feature courses, seminars, tutorials, and conducting surveys that will be featured on the show. As we leave behind 2014, I wish I could say we leave behind issues such as police brutality, youth violence, education, economic mobility, and so many other hot-button topics that made 2014 a difficult year. So what does it mean for the new year? What does it mean for youth policy? What does it mean for Hawaii as a whole? And most importantly, how does it affect you and your community? We want you to tune into the YAF show at 3 p.m. Friday and find out. Aloha.
Aloha, I'm Hunter Hevlin, host of Sustainable Hawaii here at Think Tech Hawaii. You can tune in every week on Thursday at 2 p.m. to see interviews with sustainability professionals from around the state and even further abroad, learning about activities with water management, food security, waste management, and a whole host of other fascinating opportunities to get engaged with making a greener island. So if you're interested in making the transition from consuming individuals to communities of producers, check us out every Thursday.
Hi, I'm Jay Fidel. That's Ted Ralston. You know, Ted is the host of Where the Road Leads. It shows every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. It's about technology. It's about how people collaborating and solve problems with modern technology. It's where the road leads. We all know that. We should all be listening. Join us there, 4 to 5 p.m. every Friday. Now, what about that do you agree with?
All of it.
I knew he'd say that. Aloha. Say aloha.
Aloha.
Good.
Aloha, welcome to Think Tech Hawaii. My name is Josh Green. I'm the host of a program called Healthcare in Hawaii. I'm a physician. I work in the emergency department on the Big Island. I also serve in the state senate, which, please don't hold that against me, doesn't detract from my television program. We speak about all the big healthcare issues in the state. We get together on Tuesdays from 2 o'clock till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we try to talk about the most important issues in healthcare. This is a terrific venue for people to learn about healthcare. There are many programs on this station. We broadcast it later, not just on the internet, but also on OC16. Thanks for joining us. Please be informed healthcare consumers.
Hi, aloha. My name is Chris Leatham, and I host a show called The Economy and You. The show plays every Wednesday at noon, and on my show, I bring on guests who are interested or working in the technology space. And so I'd like you to come and watch the show and learn with me about all the sort of exciting things that we're doing in Hawaii to build and grow our economy ecosystem. So I'd like to say aloha, and I look forward to seeing you on the show. Thank you.
Aloha and welcome back to Hawaii Sports Update. We are here with the high school all-star basketball players from the second annual Jeremy Robinson All-Star Classic. If you just joined us, Jasmine Moody from Radford High School. She'll be heading to BYU. She'll be back to join us in the program a little bit later. But right now we have on the far left from Mid-Pac, Kenneth Colomb, and from Kaiser, Mr. Kelsey Lewis. Both are participants in the All-Star game, and they also are both participants on Jeremy Robinson's Opencourt basketball team. So let's just start with that first. You know, how is it playing for Jeremy, and how many years have you been playing for Jeremy, Kenneth, and what has his program brought to your game?
Well, I've been playing with Coach Jeremy for 2 years, I think since like the summer of sophomore year. And I think what he brings the most is that competitive environment. You're playing against guys that are top in the state and competing for scholarships at the D1, 2, and 3 level. You're playing like guys like Josh Burnett, who's now tearing up over in prep school, looking to get D1 offers. You're playing against Caleb, Kelsey over here. So I think just playing against that top level opponents every day it just gets your game better.
Okay, now going against those guys every day helps develop your game. Does it develop a certain kind of swag and toughness when you look at the guys and then you step in and compete against them and you know, hey, you know, I can play with these guys a little bit? Does that sort of boost your confidence along with the technical skills that Jeremy's teaching you?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a confidence boost because we're working our skills in practice. You're playing against them in the game, and then you know your teammates are up there with you. You know that you don't have to worry about them dragging behind. Everyone's just up there on the same level, on the same page.
Absolutely. Now, Mr. Handles here, Kelsey Lewis. You know, I was checking you out during the practice, man. Kaiser High School, correct?
Yes, yes.
And you went to Marinol your freshman and sophomore year.
Yes.
Now, what has been in Jeremy's program? First of all, how long have you been with Jeremy, and what has his program meant to you and brought to you as far as your skills and your basketball ability?
Well, to start, I've been playing with him for 4 years, so since a little bit into my freshman year. And just throughout the 4 years, it's just taught me how to really be a varsity player and how to not just be a varsity player and a competitive Hawaii player, but a competitive player to play at the college level. And that's one thing that I think was the difference between his program and a lot of other programs that not only that I've seen but been a part of growing up, is that he really prepares you for not just playing here, but to be able to play against that top level talent on the mainland too. And how he pushes us in practice just makes you completely prepared for when we go on tournaments and when we go to like Las Vegas and California to play against these guys and actually stand out when we get there. And that helps to push you to the next level and play college ball.
Okay, and now back to you, Jeremy. You know, watching these two gentlemen develop over the years, you know, talk about both of their games a little bit and what they bring to the table.
Okay, Ken is a vocal leader, totally. Really good team guy. On the court, he totally gives you what you want on the court. Just a really good guy to have around any team. Can't wait to have, once he makes his decision to what college he's going to go to and we get all that stuff together, that college is going to be getting a good guy, wonderful player, someone who works real hard, and have anything in his backpack that you need. We were in California, I think, what was it, Jacob was hurt or something?
Yeah,
we had a
Jacob
couple of
and
them
Antoine,
hurt.
and Antoine.
Ken had everything in his backpack they needed.
There you
To
go.
stretch and everything. So, like I said, wonderful. I love all those guys. You know, just wonderful guy, wonderful player. Kelsey's same thing. When Kelsey first came to the program, you know, he was really fiery, ready to go, competitive, right? Didn't want to come out of games. We had to calm him down a little bit. He had a little Allen Iverson in him. Didn't want to leave.
There you go.
Didn't want to come out of games at all.
Okay.
So, but he was young.
Right.
He was really young. So, you know, we had to take him. I had to take him and kind of, you know, tell him, you know, just relax. Everything will be okay. And you know, and watching them grow, especially watching them grow from that to where he's at now.
Right.
Handling the point guard and the whole situation at Kaiser on his own, really, because he really didn't have a backup the last couple of years, right?
Yeah.
Not easy to run point guard, especially not having a backup and being basically the only player on the team that can handle the basketball.
Right. Right.
You know, and keeping his wind and keeping his cardiovascular up, just working hard. Just very proud of these guys.
Absolutely.
Very proud of them.
Now, after watching these two develop, Kenneth and Kelsey develop, and now they have the opportunity to play college ball. I mean, you know, that's what the open court basketball skills training is all about, and this is just an example of what your open basketball skills training does, and you know the kind of product that it develops, and you know, just keep up the good work, and you know we're really proud of what you're doing in the community. Now, Kenneth, what are your aspirations? Where do you plan on going to college? You know, what's the future hold for you?
Well, I'm still looking at a couple colleges at the D2, D3 level, as well as a couple post-grad prep school programs over in Connecticut.
Okay.
Whether I go to college or prep school, I plan on majoring in sports business management and hopefully being able to take that and try to be a director of basketball operations at a Division I program, or just take that and be able to do things with sports.
Absolutely. So this basketball has provided you, for an education as well as something that you enjoy to do for 4 more years of your life.
Exactly.
All right. And Kelsey, what about you? What are your aspirations and where are you headed?
Like Ken said, I'm looking at Division II and III colleges, and looking to hopefully play basketball for them. Also, I've actually been considering, if I don't choose the basketball route, I've considered a couple of schools that have offered me academic scholarships. Fresno State and Cal State Northridge. So if basketball isn't the route, then I'd probably choose one of those schools. And I would like to major in sports psychology to hopefully follow Coach Jeremy's steps and become a basketball coach.
Absolutely. Now, just do me one favor, okay? If you go to Cal State Northridge, man, don't play basketball. All right?
Where's that coming from?
Well, 'cause that's who we play against.
Huh?
Hawaii is Cal State Northridge is in our league, man.
He'll
You
be
know?
here. He gonna be back home. He gonna rip it up. That's all.
That was just a selfish gesture for me, man. You know, of course, we wish you luck wherever you may end up going. That's without no doubt. Now, Jeremy, you see the success of your program and your Nike basketball camps. Are you guys going to be playing this summer or anything? Are you still going to be involved with the team?
Oh yes, for sure.
We want
For
them
sure.
to definitely be involved. If they're not too busy, because, like I said, main thing is to get them in college. So, like I spoke with Kelsey's dad, we talk all the time about the decisions there's to make and what's best for him as a player, what school would fit. I think Pacific, right? That's one of them. That may be a good fit. It depends on how serious they are about recruiting. They're pretty serious about it.
Right.
You know, just that process. And then Ken just getting his stuff together. We're working on getting his stuff together to send out and present. And then, but like I said, I want to keep the 100% rating of my guys going to college, my senior guys.
Of course.
So we're gonna work hard at it. And if they're still around in June, the Nike camp's in June. So, you know, I like to have my players that's graduated, they can work the Nike camp and everything. And, you know, I like them all to come around. Like,
come back and.
they're for sure going to play in the summer league with me, that's for sure. That Manoa.
Okay. All right. And so there you have it. You know, the Opencourt Basketball Skills Training Club is sending people to college, you know, and giving it to the community. The players love this, you know, what's going on and what you're doing here, Jeremy. And as we go on a commercial break and we come back, we'll be talking more with Jeremy Robinson, and we'll have Jasmine Moody back for a minute, and we'll see you just a minute on the other side of Hawaii Sports Update.
I'm Donna Blanchard, and this is your Think Tech News for Tuesday, March 10th, 2015. Today in a news conference at the United Nations, Hillary Rodham Clinton spoke about the fact that she used a personal rather than an official email account, which would have stored all of her work emails for record preservation while she was in office. She said that using her personal account was legally allowed and that the vast majority of her emails were sent to government employees with .gov addresses and would therefore be automatically captured on government servers. She admitted that in retrospect, she wishes she had used a .gov address, but thought it more convenient to use her own. She said that she didn't want to carry two devices serving two separate accounts and therefore opted for only one, her personal account. She said she and her team have gone through her emails, which have been stored on a personal server, and said they have been turned over the emails, all that were possibly related to work, to the State Department, and have asked that they be available to the public. She noted that there were no security breaches. She also took this opportunity to denounce the move by Senate Republicans to send a letter to Iran's leadership, explaining that any agreement reached with President Obama could be altered later without congressional approval. Mrs. Clinton asked what the purpose of that letter could have been and answered that it was either meant to help the Iranian government or harm President Obama's efforts, and both are unacceptable. About that letter, Senator Tim Kaine, Democrat of Virginia, said, "I think Republicans have made it harder for us to approach this in a careful and bipartisan way." Mr. Kaine is a sponsor of a bill to review any removal of congressionally imposed sanctions on Iran. He added, "I regret that this partisan and nutty behavior makes people focus on politics and not substance." Iraqi troops and militias drove Islamic State insurgents out of the town of Al-Alam today, clearing a final hurdle before a planned assault on Saddam Hussein's home city of Tikrit in their biggest offensive yet against the ultra-radical group. If Iraq's Shiite-led government is able to retake Tikrit, it would be the first city taken back from the Sunni insurgents and would give it momentum in the next pivotal stage of their campaign to recapture Mosul, the largest city in the north. Today, a senior U.S. State Department official said that Russian tanks and heavy military equipment have crossed the Ukrainian border in the last few days in breach of a European-brokered ceasefire agreed on February 12th. Comments by U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for European and Eurasian Affairs, Victoria Nuland, followed accusations by Ukraine and Western governments that Russia continues to send troops and weapons to support separatists in eastern Ukraine despite the ceasefire deal, a charge the Kremlin has denied. Eastern Ukraine and Crimea, the Black Sea Peninsula annexed by Russia a year ago, was suffering a reign of terror, Nuland told a congressional hearing on Ukraine, adding that the White House was still considering whether to arm Ukraine's military. The last few days has seen new transfers of Russian tanks, armored vehicles, heavy artillery, and rocket equipment over the border to the separatists, Nuland told the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. In the coming days, not weeks, we need to see a complete ceasefire. I'm Donna Blanchard, and this has been your Think Tech News for Tuesday, March 10th, 2015. Ahui ho!
Aloha and welcome back to Hawaii Sports Update. We are here doing the Hawaii Basketball All-Stars second annual Jeremy Robinson All-Star Classic show. And we have some All-Stars up here, Kelsey Lewis, Kenneth Colomb, and Jasmine Moody. And they're all going to be heading off to their respective colleges. And of course, it's put on by Jeremy Robinson, founder of the Opencourt Basketball Skills Training Club, Nike Boys Basketball Camp, and of course, the All-Star Game. Now, were all you guys born and raised here in Hawaii?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born and raised here.
And you came here 4 years ago, right?
Yes, I was born in Japan and then moved to Washington, then Georgia, and then here.
So desu ka? Oh, okay.
I'm not speaking though.
Just joking. Anyways, so Kelsey,
Yes.
you know, making that transition from Hawaii to the mainland, I asked you the same question, man. You're gonna miss all the plate lunches and all that stuff?
Probably not.
No?
Not as much as a lot of people think.
Okay. Well, what are you gonna miss most about Hawaii? Is it gonna be the weather? I mean, besides family, we know everybody has strong family foundations here, but what are you gonna miss the most?
The just tightness and the security that you feel just walking around the island. I mean, it's very different from the streets of Hawaii going to streets of anywhere else. You can just tell the difference. People here are a lot more friendly. It really is a big family here, and it's definitely one thing that I will miss.
Absolutely. And Kenneth, what about you? How are you going to prepare yourself to go to the mainland, and what part of the mainland might you be going to?
I'm probably going to be going to the Midwest, but I mean, I don't think it's going to be as hard as a transition. I mean, I'm not really into the island style music stuff. I listen to country, so I'll be right at home there. And I like cold weather, although I haven't been there for an extended period of time.
Okay, so we're going from mid-pack to the Midwest, huh?
Yeah.
And just one smooth transition, huh?
That's hopefully.
All right, and Jasmine, you already addressed this a little bit earlier, but I mean, are you looking forward to like building new relationships also with with your teammates, and when you went on your trip, did you meet some of the girls?
Yes, I met all of the girls, and 2 of them are actually from Hawaii as well, so that was kind of, I know that it'd be a good, easy transition with having girls from here also.
Okay, now did you play against these girls in high school also?
I played against one of them.
Okay.
Alohi. She went to Kamehameha.
Okay, and the other girls from where?
Iolani.
Iolani. Okay. Now, tell us a little bit about the recruiting process. I mean, I don't know if you know, but I played a little bit of minor league baseball in my days, many, many years ago. But I remember the recruiting process I'm going to date myself here, in the early 80s. What is the recruiting process now? I mean, take us through your trip to, just pick one of the universities.
Okay. Well, now I'll start off with now. Now it's I'm so happy to finally have picked a college because now it's a breeze just talking with that college and keeping up with them. But when I first got back from the mainland after traveling, my phone was blowing up on the daily from different colleges just trying to contact me, and every day I would have to talk to like 2 to 3 colleges, and they would just talk to me and ask me about my goals and my future and what I want to major in and my strengths and weaknesses, and it became overwhelming because then I had to pick my top 5 colleges I was going to be serious about going to and then go visit them, and that became a lot because I was also juggling school, and so going on these trips, it was a fun and a great experience because not everyone gets to do it, but at the same time it was just overwhelming because all these colleges were pressuring me to go to that college, and I had to do what I felt was right.
Right. And when you went on these trips, were your parents there with you?
My parents were with me 100% of the time.
Absolutely.
And I'm so glad they were, because if I had to do this process on my own, I don't know what I would do.
Okay. Did you feel like sometimes that this is like a sort of a big business Division I school now. When you say pressure you, I mean that they're really wanting you to commit to that school, correct?
Yes.
Wow.
Some of them, like, even right on the spot, they were willing to do a lot for me to go to that school. Like, they were like, if you want to major in this, we'll make sure you major in this. We'll talk to the person behind the head of the office, and, they would just be like, if you go to this school, or if you go to our school, you'll have this, this, and this, and I was just like, this, I gotta, take it back and, think about it. I have to go visit all the colleges before I can make a decision. I just can't make it off the top of my head.
Right. Now, I mean, that's a lot of pressure for somebody so young, and it's a good thing that, of course, your parents were there with you, and that's I can just imagine. Well, I mean, I went through it myself, but I can just imagine it's probably 30 times worse nowadays. But now, but back to you, Kelsey. After college and after your career, are you planning on coming back to Hawaii, or are you gonna stay out in the mainland?
Right now, it's looking more like I want to stay on the mainland and just kind of see what the opportunities have for me there, and then just kind of start up. Just get settled, because like they say, a lot of people have been telling me that wherever you pick, usually that's where you'll fall in love with a lot of times. So some people say it's not a 4-year decision, but a 40-year decision.
Right.
So right now I'm being wise with my choices, because I do plan to possibly stay wherever I choose to be at. But if there is an opportunity somewhere here for me in the future, I won't hesitate to come back.
Okay, now, do you feel like the mainland provides you more of an opportunity within the field that you're going to be in? Is that why?
Yes, and definitely that, but also just a little bit of just my own personal desire, just to kind of not be so reliant on my family, but to kind of be a branch to another area of the country.
And grow up on your, there you go. Yeah. All right. And what about you, Kenneth? Go ahead.
I feel like I'm the same as Kelsey. I plan to hopefully, once after I'm done with college, to stay over on the mainland, just because I feel like there's more opportunity for my future, as well as maybe establish contacts and come back and help out the athletes over here, just the way I was helped out by people like Coach Jeremy and my other coaches and mentors over here.
Okay. All right. And now, when do you guys graduate? All you guys are graduating, I know that. And when is your graduation, Kelsey?
May 29th.
May 29th. And Kenneth?
May 23rd.
The 23rd?
29th.
The 29th? Oh, so one must be at the stadium.
Mine's at the stadium.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's how it always goes here. Now, for you two, let's get back to Coach Robinson for a minute. you know, he's set you guys up for the last 2 years and for the last 4 years for success, you know, through his basketball skills training and so on. I mean, for somebody out there who's not aware of the work that he's doing, why don't you guys just let him know, let the people know exactly, you know, what he does to push your game to the level that you've got it to. Kelsey, go ahead.
What he does, personally, he's just right there. Like, he's one of the most engaged coaches in a person's future that I've ever met. Constantly texting you, letting you know when practice is. He lets you know all the time that everything will be all right. You got your future set, and that that everything is just he's setting it up just for you to succeed. With all the tournaments, all the different things that he does in the community, it's just setting it up for you to have that future and for you to have open gates. From skills trainings that he does personally, which I participated in, which are really good skills training. I mean, they help a lot with your individual skills, to just practices and writing recommendations if you need them, practices that push you to basically learn how to play hard, how to play smart, and how to just be aware.
So he's not just developing you guys as young basketball players, he's developing you guys as young men also,
yes.
right?
Punctuality.
Absolutely.
All those kind of stuff.
Don't forget your
All right,
jersey.
and what about you, Kenneth?
I think Kelsey said it all. But the main thing for me is confidence, the confidence that he has in me, and then that just transferred into the confidence I had in myself, and to be able to go over to the mainland to California, play in the double pump tournament, and to be able to succeed and show coaches that you're ready for the next level. And then what he's continuing to do with building his gym and all sorts of other things, that's just going to develop athletes further.
Absolutely. All right, now, Jasmine, you know, we might be asking you for WNBA tickets or something in a few years. I mean, what are your plans if, I don't even want to say if you don't make it, because of course we wish you to make it, but what are your plans? 4 years from now, when you look back, what are we going to be saying about Jasmine Moody?
Well, I mean, it would be my goal to go to WNBA, but there's always that reality, and so I know that if I don't go, like, something I've always loved doing was helping out people. So I wanted to be a nurse or do something in the medical field, and so that's what I'm planning on investing my time in college. But I also do want to come back here and help out kids get to college, because if you just, like Coach Jeremy, like, just showing everyone, like showcasing everybody really helps, so that mainland schools, like, because we have good athletes in Hawaii.
Absolutely.
And people in the mainland just don't realize that, but if we help to showcase that, then people will know, and more kids from Hawaii will be recruited, and that's something I want to do.
All right, absolutely. Now, starting with you, Kelsey, any shots out to anybody before we wrap it up here? You want to say a special hello to anybody out there?
I just like to thank my dad and my mom. Shout out to my family in Kansas City. I know they've been supporting me a lot recently. My dad's just been telling me all the things they've been saying and wishing me success. Shout out to my family in Detroit. I know they've been supporting me as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
And Kenneth?
I just wanted to thank my parents, my mom and dad. I don't say this enough, but I truly love them and all the support they've given me, as well as my teammates over at Mid-Pacific, and all the coaches and mentors I've had throughout my life. It's hard to name all of them, but I've just been blessed with amazing coaches. I can't name a single bad coach I've had, and they've each had an impact on my life.
Absolutely, and you're never too big to tell your parents you love them, boy. Remember that. All right, Jasmine?
Same. I want to shout out my parents. My mom and dad are huge supporters and encouragers, and they motivate me. So also my family and all my coaches, especially Coach Shinano. She's the one that really helps me. All my coaches really, though, so it's hard to name them all as well. My teammates, my family in the mainland, they were always, like, when I went to the mainland, they always came and supported me. my teammates, my school. My school they've always helped me and been there for me as well.
All right. All right, well, big ups to Mr. Jeremy Robinson and the Open Court Basketball Skills Training Club, the Nike Boys Basketball Camp, and of course the second annual Jeremy Robinson All-Star Classic. Special thanks to Jasmine Moody, Radford High School headed to BYU, Kenneth Cologne, Mid-Pac. He's going to be heading to a D3 or D2 division school near you somewhere. And also Kelsey Lewis from Kaiser and considering Mid-Pac. Thank you for being on Hawaii Sports Update. You guys, much luck and in your college endeavors. And always remember the Aina. Never forget that. And we'll see you later next time on Hawaii Sports Update. Ahui ho!